There we go. Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Nate. Welcome to Hall Yeah Comics. I'm joined by a couple of my favorite people here. I've got Eric from SideQuest Comics and Dope from Dope Comics. How are you doing, gentlemen?
What's up? What's
Dandy.
up?
Thanks for being here. Just wanted to, hang out, talk about Heroes Con. It's coming up. We just had a visit, Hagen and I, and Dope we had a real life team up, which was awesome. Might show some books from that, but just kind of want to chat with you guys and talk to people in the chat, especially about like a hero's plan. I know Dope had talked about like he kind of had something that he might be hunting there, and I got
Mm.
some ideas, but I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be like a big deal.
So
Um,
I was going to ask you too before I forget. Your thumbnail with us going to the Wizard of Oz, is that kind
yeah,
of what we're forcing? So I want to know important questions. Who is who? Who is the cowardly
that's
lion? Who
that's
is
why
the scarecrow that
I
has no
just put them up
brain?
there. I didn't assign a character to anybody. Let you choose who you want to be.
Well, and I know how you
Um,
are with Dazzler and Ruby Slippers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of felt like I was Dorothy because I'm going to a place that's going to be foreign to me for the first time and navigating. Yeah, for sure. But I specifically I was at first I was like, oh, I'll put people's icons on things, and I was like, no, I'm not, because no one wants to be any of these
I mean,
people.
yeah, I'd rather be a flying monkey, you know.
I just wanted the gag. So there are a lot of people here, and I want to say hey to them. So there is our friend from the Great White North, Derek. How you doing, brother? Phil, I know Phil's going to be at Heroes with us. There's Robert. Hey, Bell. There's Rich from Big Nasty. Rich will be there at Heroes as
He was
well.
racing Derek.
He tried, but Derek was Derek's Sebulba, baby. He always wins. That's a terrible Phantom Menace joke. I hate it.
Wow. I tried to put that
Uh
out of my brain, Derek.
yeah. There's Chris Parker. I know he has a real life team up going on soon. He's gonna meet some people it's either last weekend
It
or
was last
coming up.
weekend.
Okay. I haven't seen anything from it yet. RPO Collectibles, hey, thanks for being here. There's K Munin. He's here to hate some of the nonsense, but God love him, he still supports us. Adam from Up and Adam. How you
Adam.
doing, buddy? JSS, how are you? Chonko. Good evening to Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan Ramirez. Doug, the comic collector coach. And oh man, it's still going. It's still going.
Yeah, you got like 20 people watching.
Yeah, it happens. I appreciate it. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, Adam. I know who I am. Okay, hashtag no shame. Uh, Derek's calling you out as the lion, Dope.
That's who I wanted to be.
There is Buttface McBooby, just one of the best icons in comic book YouTube, brother. Still scrolling through. Eric snuck in. There's Jab. All right. So I'm sorry, Christopher, was it last weekend or is it this upcoming weekend where you're gonna go hang out with Mon?
I guess it's this week, but he told me I thought it was last week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, time right now I'm on spring break, so time has like literally no meaning to me.
That's a great goal right there, Phil.
just
I love
loving
that
it.
goal.
And yeah, I mean, and that's what I wanted to get into. Like, we just had, oh, holy cow. There's a Ryan Colossus Collector. What's up, friend? Jerry Chick is here. Hey, buddy. So, Dope and Hagen and I just had this real life hangout where we I had an absolute blast. And I didn't film anything. Like I have a couple I didn't. Like I took my camera and none of us filmed anything. Like I had a couple of pictures that I took that I am going to use in a video, but like it's not what it was about at all. Like we just it's so weird too. Like, we hang out all the time, right? Like all of us do. And you just wonder, like, is that going to translate into real space? And it did. It was just like hanging out with friends that you've known forever. But we just stayed up. We just talked. Yeah, we talked about nerd stuff, but it was just a great time. So I'm with Phil in that, like, I mean, my real goal is just to talk to these all of you guys.
Yeah.
Have some good hangout time. I do want to pick some books. There are things I have in mind. Do either of you guys have a goal for like a book that you're looking for when we're there?
Book wise, I want a 180 and a 181.
Wow.
I've never really wanted a 180 and a 181 because I've never started reading Wolverine to here lately. But to justify it, I thought, well, that is the biggest Hulk book that I don't own.
Yeah.
So I gotta have them if I'm going to get them. So I want a Hulk 180 and a 181. And if I have any money left, I might get a Avengers one.
If he has money left.
If he has money left,
After those
I might get an Avengers one.
Yeah.
I might on the side.
Well, the way I see it, I don't want to waste a lot of my money on dollar books because you saw how many dollar books I have around here. I can get them anytime, I feel like.
True.
If I'm going up there, I better knock some of the big stuff off my list.
Sure. And that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, I mean, now I'm going to bring it down to my level. I'm not looking for 180 and 181, but like the ones I wrote down that I might like, in that $200 to $300 range for myself, things like Superboy 68 is the first Bizarro. If there happened to be a Lois Lane #1 that wasn't, stupidly priced or, that's a hard book to find in presentable condition, in my opinion. Or one of the other Lois Lane keys, like 70 First Silver Age Catwoman or I Am Curious Black, like those covers would be big pickups for me. And Eric, I know, but they'd be big for me. And that's where I'm the same way, Dope. Like I got plenty of places to pick books. So I'm not going to go hunting dollar books, but we also talked about us having a little contest for who can find the weirdest book.
Yeah, we've got 3 days to do that. But
I'm making up a little like everyday goal type of thing for us to have fun with,
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I'm going to be working on my goal list that I came up with at the beginning of the year because a lot of these books they're easily attainable. They're not big, huge books, but they're books that I don't generally see at like the local small cons or, stores and stuff. I just don't see them. So that's kind of more or less one of the things I want to look for is just stuff I don't see very often, but still kind of work towards my list for the year. And maybe just, kind of series that I don't see a lot in the wild around me and stuff. Now, am I not going to go in the dollar bins? Oh, I'm going in dollar bins because I have fun finding weird shit. I may limit myself kind of like, it's where I came up with the idea for the 10 for 10 videos I do, where I limit myself to $10. Let's just pick 10 books, and then I'm fine with that. So that way I'm not going crazy and getting 100 books. How am I going to get 100 books back in my car and drive all the way home? So I got to think about that too. So
Steven here brings up a good point about convention pricing. Like when you're looking for whether it's a 180 and a 181 or a Superboy 68. I mean, what do you do? Do you walk the floor on Friday? Do you do some comparison shopping?
Well, that's what I was going to say earlier. The reason I'm wanting a 181 and also your Bizarro, there should be tons of them there. This is the biggest comic book show on the East Coast for just comics. So we're never going to see this many 181s under one roof. So it's perfect time to go around and try to see how low you can get one.
I have 2 huge books that I've been looking for already for a year, and I can't find them around here. First Batgirl, First Ghost Rider. I cannot find them anywhere here. I don't want to buy them online. I don't want them slabbed. I want them raw. So that's maybe I'll find them.
Yeah, you'll find plenty of them.
It's just a matter of condition, right? And is the price right? So you got to compare those two things. A lot of times I see a right price, but it looks a little too beat up for me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, then you get into the hard part too, is when you first get there, you want to run around and try to find the best deals. But everybody says if you wait to Sundays, whenever the people are coming off a deal, you might not get a deal on Friday morning right when you walk in.
No.
Because they got the whole show. but it might be you might stumble across that one low copy somebody had, so who knows?
That's true.
And when are you gonna buy? You gonna wait to the third day to buy, or
Well, just out of curiosity, we do have 25 people in the chat at the moment. Like, if you're going, I know some of you guys are going for sure, but if you're going to Heroes Con, I'd love to hear, just say I'm going or something in the chat, because I'm just curious how there's I've been added to an Instagram thread where there's all these, a lot of people, and some of them I think aren't necessarily channel names. It's like I see people's names. I'm like, I'm not sure who it is. Oh, there he is. My West Coast friend here, Eric from 9 Panel Grid.
Cool.
I'm really looking forward to seeing him, because it's somebody that interacting with online. Oh, wow. Ryan's okay.
Another strategy I thought of is maybe Friday, buy your big book that you want. And then you know how much money you got to play with and dollar bin shop the rest of the week and just make videos and hang out with your friends.
That's true. You get that anxiety thing out of the way. You got your big, book that you wanted, and you won't go home empty-handed. So, that's a good
You don't want a dollar bin and $5 do this stuff for 2 or 3 days and miss your big book by $200 or something. But then you're like, damn it.
Right.
Yeah, I've done that
first.
I've done that.
You get that you get that big book on Friday, and you're eating that potted beet the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
You're hoarding all the ketchup packs and mustard packs.
You want to go to the restaurant with us? No, but would you bring back some ketchup?
You load up at that free breakfast at the Westin every day. That's all you got to eat. Be putting bacon in your pockets.
Yeah. Give me all the carbs.
Yeah. Get that orange, put an orange in there and a banana for later.
All your pockets are greasy. They got that big, because you just got it full of sausage and bacon. That guy took the steamer table. Get him. In talking with people, and Hagen wasn't able to join us tonight because he got busy, but he went before. He said it's very, I've never been. So he said, the place is huge, but it's not like overwhelming in terms of like, you don't feel the crush of people. You can always find a spot to get a little privacy and relax, so you don't feel overwhelmed. Travel bacon.
I used to do that at Gen Con. You put that pocket bacon in there. You get through the day.
Yeah, but Gen Con smells like pocket bacon anyway. So you're
a little tighter there.
I went once, and that was enough for me. It was too much, too crowded.
I've used to go between 2012 and COVID. We were going every year. We would have like 10 of us in one room just to afford it. And
wow.
Sausage
and that's it will be. This is, I'm really excited. So, speaking of Ryan, Colossus Collector, one of the people who went to Terrificon this year, and everybody in the community who went, I had the FOMO of not getting to participate in that.
Yeah.
So like when this came up, this is drivable for me. It's a long drive, but I'm driving there. You're driving as well, Eric?
You ain't getting me on a plane unless you knock me out like B.A. Baracus.
just drink this milk.
I think it was 6.5 hours for me is what we figured out. Remember?
Yeah.
You were longer than that.
I'm about a 9-hour drive. I didn't think it would be that long, but I'll have it timed out. Phil had said he and I kind of have the same schedule. I'm going in Thursday afternoon, evening, and I'm leaving on Monday morning. It's also like half family vacation sort of for me, because my wife's sister lives down in North Carolina, so we're kind of all traveling together. They're doing one day Friday at Heroes, and then they're going to visit her. But I've got family coming up who's going to travel around at the con. It's going to be wild.
I'm going to go Thursday and stay about 2 hours at the con Friday and come home.
No, you're not.
I got to go whole wild in one day.
I'm out. I'm done.
Y'all have fun. See.
So
I'm coming back Sunday, I guess.
You're going to come back on Sunday?
Yeah.
So Yeah. Okay. So
Monday for me because it's a little bit longer. I'm like 2 hours longer than you, Nate. So.
right. And that's why I'm leaving. I'm waiting for my wife to come back from her sister's to join me Sunday night, and I don't want to have to like scramble on that Sunday. So I just kind of I originally didn't have a room that night, but I called them, and that's something else is like the Westin was so easy to deal with. I wanted to add that extra day, and I just called them, and it was no problem.
Well, then you get into another thing, another strategy I got. I bought the $75 3-day pass.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
And I plan on sleeping in
Mm-hmm.
and not even waiting in that long line. And I'm just going to go in after the line's down.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Eric and I,
I've my book.
You paid
book signs. You need to go early.
Yeah,
but that's all I really see. Or unless you want exclusive some comic, but you know,
I bought the VIP. Didn't you buy the VIP, Eric? Yeah, it was Eric from 9 Panel Grid said it's worth it. You can get in an hour early, but really I'm just going to be in the same line as everybody else who's trying to get in an hour early.
Yeah, I want the swag. I'll admit it. I want the swag because I've always gotten swag at cons because it's just kind of the souvenir for me. I mean, you get a comic and it just gets you may remember you got it at whatever con, but you got a t-shirt or something like that. It's a little more, I remember that. I remember the shenanigans we got up to, you know?
Right. So. And it's part for me. Like, I can't say that I would do that again. If I go back next year in a couple years, I probably won't get the VIP. But I am with Phil. I could not find a lanyard anywhere. And this was a great deal for getting a lanyard, was just spending another $75.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you missed it, JSS. We kind of went through some of the books that we are gonna hopefully be looking for. Dope is looking for the 180, 181, first and second appearance of Wolverine. Fight me.
Oh, I agree.
You might as well get the third too.
Right. I'm just looking I'm looking for good Silver DC, and there are some keys I have in mind, but like it's just if I see, like you had talked about, Eric, if there are books I never see. So like I got Lois Lane #5 at the Indianapolis Comic-Con, and it's a book I have literally never seen in the wild, you know? And so when I see things like that, like early issues of Superman or Action, that at least for right now, you know, aren't stupidly priced.
Yeah.
I'm willing to roll the dice, but I have to be careful because if I get a bunch of like, you know, $25 early issues, that's going to kill my budget for being able to get a $200 or $300 key.
And I think the big thing with that is you got to think ahead. You got to have a plan. Go in with a plan. Don't go willy-nilly. That way that you don't get yourself into trouble and that you do still have set aside stuff for bigger books if you do see them. By Sunday, I say all bets are off because you probably, if you didn't find it by Sunday, you might not find it. So you can kind of relax a little bit and get some fun books that you don't see. I stress don't see. If you don't see them, that's worth getting them. But you can still have fun that way. But go in with a plan. Say, okay, every day I'm going to look for ABC type of thing. I want to spend, you know, whatever. And then by the third day, you can be a little more flexible with those, you know, those rules, I guess you want to call them. Because I've been to shows like that, and it's just like the first day, dope. I spend my whole wad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My problem is there's probably going to be about 45 181s. So I think you go into it with a grade in mind. I want it a blue label. Yeah. I want to be in this price range. And then, you know, I talked to you, Eric, about helping me find one because you're
Are you gonna go with raw or slab? You want a slab one?
I want a slab. Yeah.
Slab. Yeah. So then you got to think about.
And I want the 180 and about the same. This is my, I guess, quirks, but I want the 180 and about the same grade.
Then you got to think about the label, though. Do you want just a basic label? Do you want a Wolverine special label?
I don't care about that, but I hate it when I see the wavy labels. You know, the real older ones, it's wavy in there. Yeah. Like, or the real thin early on editions, it was real crappy cases. Yeah.
Well, mine's one of the first, like from the first year they started doing that. So, but I went with that knowing that there's no shenanigans with that.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So,
yeah. Well, I mean, you got the coupon in yours. You know, I mean, you got the blue label. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Right. And that's, I mean, if you're getting it you want to complete, like you don't want, okay. Is there anybody like the guest? Honestly, like the guest list wasn't as long as what I remember seeing on their site last year. And there were some people who attended last year, artists and creators that
They've
aren't on
updated
this
it
year.
though. Have you looked at the
They-
updated?
Yeah, I have, and they've definitely added some more. Is there anybody on the list that is there anybody, Eric, you were talking about getting something signed. Who are you hunting down?
I gotta go look at it real quick.
Claremont's there, which you've already got a bunch of
Here.
that.
I'm going to see Claremont at C2E2.
Jerry
next month.
Conway's there.
And I'm gonna have him sign
Yep.
my first appearance Gambit because I had Kubert sign it last fall. So it's like I got to have him sign these books that I had Kubert do the art on. So I'm gonna maybe stop there. I may have one or two things. I've had him sign so many books, so I might be done. I don't know. I mean, I'm up to the point where it's like major books I have left are like newer stuff. And do I need it? There's a lot of them out there if I really want to get one.
Nate, there's a new picture on that site where it's got the big wigs, the big dogs. It just shows all the main Jerry Conway, and it shows.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. I got that up. This right here.
Yeah.
So, Claremont, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. I mean, especially depending on what he's got at his booth to sign. Those the character Bible pictures that for DC that he did covers for all these people. It was great. Let's see, John Romita Jr., Jim Starlin, Brian
JR is one for me,
and Jerry Conway, Jenny Frizen.
Yeah, another one.
I think her line's going to be long.
Roy Thomas, I'd love to have Roy Thomas sign Conan #1 for me.
Roy, I'm waiting in line for my Bombast and Roy Thomas.
You've got to.
My top book.
That would be amazing.
Be like, what the hell? You just paid $30 for this autograph on this?
Oh, that would be. I mean, that's exactly what you should do.
Yeah, there's not many Bombast Roy Thomas out there.
No, a couple of people are thinking that there's going to be another wave of creators announced, and
I think so. It's far enough.
I think so too.
It's far enough out because they're probably still going to have some cancellations. So I think we may see some more of the modern, I think, artists and writers may come and go a little bit. But I think as for like veteran guys, they're probably pretty solid. I think maybe a surprise one. I don't know.
Is there anybody you'd really want?
For me, it's probably between Roy Thomas for big names, Roy Thomas and John Romita Jr.
No, I mean, that's not coming.
No, that's not coming.
Somebody who was there last year that I was really hoping would be there this year was Mike Manley. He is just he worked on everything, but the thing that I want signed by him is my Darkhawk #1.
Oh, Jesus.
I would like Benjamin Percy.
There'll be no line, okay?
He'd be there for like 2 hours one day. That was it.
Done.
I'd like Benjamin Percy, and I'd like Jason Aaron to be there.
I did think of one. An artist that I've been wanting to meet for years because it was like when I first got into comics, Silvestri. I'd love to meet Mark Silvestri. I have not had that opportunity yet. I'd love to get him to sign some of my X books.
Yeah.
Marv Wolfman, that's a good one.
Wolfman. Someone said Steranko. Sienkiewicz is still doing stuff. I'd love to.
He makes sometimes surprise appearances around me because he lives in the Midwest. So
yeah. He was just at something. I saw him at.
He does museums a lot, like art museums, which makes sense.
A comic show, I think.
Being a Hulk guy, I always wanted Peter David, but he's in really bad shape, they say.
Oh yeah. I keep up with his GoFundMe because I mean he's just a tremendous writer. Yeah, his run on the Hulk is legendary. His run on X Factor is legendary. She-Hulk, and it really sucks that he's not able to take care of himself right now. It's not his fault.
Nate, we got to go see Mike Grell.
Oh God, that's what I was gonna say. I wrote it down. Mike Grell is on the list. I am
Yeah.
totally taking my first
Warlord
issue special. My Warlord #1. Hell yeah, I am excited.
That I could accept as opposed to Darkhawk.
So what days is he going to be there? Are you going to be able to run right in and beat the line?
Let's see. Grell is. I saw him. I think he's all. Yeah, he's all 3 days.
Yeah.
So he's not a Friday, Saturday only guy. He's on there. But yeah, I got a couple of things I could take for him to sign for sure.
John Sable.
Let's see. There's another. Oh, Mike McCone is an artist I like a lot. He did Exiles for a while. He did a lot on the Justice League. If anybody has a copy of The Death of Superman, Dan Jurgens is going to be there.
I think he signed a few of those. What do you think?
Yeah, I bet he has. I know Richard was talking about Ron Lim going to a signing near him, and he's going to be at Heroes as well.
Yeah, he'll be there. I just saw him.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like the big one is Jose Garcia. I just think, God, his 70s work on DC was. I mean, he did the character Bible. He did the design that everybody else had to follow. But there were some other people on this list.
This list is really long now. Jim Starlin's going to be there.
Stephen Platt is going to be there. When is he drawing again? I mean, the last thing I knew he was doing was he did Moon Knight, and then he had an image book, and then like he left the industry for a while.
Yeah.
Good Lord, there's all the Frozen guys are here.
Oh wow.
Frozen Alan's here. Frozen Nate is here. Yeah, and Derek is right. Like Peter David has been in poor health for a long time, and just the medical bills are, very high. And yeah, if anybody has the link to that GoFundMe and wants to throw that in the chat, that would be awesome, actually. Hey, Christina, thanks for being here. Okay, so Platt's back doing covers because I have those Moon Knights that he did back in the 90s. There's like 4 or 5 that are very famous covers. But when I saw him on the list, I was kind of surprised. And then, Mark, he's going to be there as well, Legion. So that'll be cool to see you.
I heard Alex Ross, when he comes to shows, he brings like a giant booth, with all of his original artwork. I'd love to see all that stuff.
I mean, I've seen setups of it. I've never seen him at a place, but I've seen setups that are selling his like posters and prints and things.
Oh, I don't have it. Yeah, I think he's doing a museum show in my area soon, like over the summer.
Yeah, you need to go to that.
Yeah, I got a little inside info on it, and I saw some stuff. And I was like, wow. That's all I can say is wow.
Now, I do see that, okay, Jim Starlin's going to be there.
Yeah.
I got a couple of things he did that I really like, but Jim Shooter's going to be there.
Yeah, he's up there in age, too.
He's got to be getting up there.
It'd be nice to take,
so it'd be a good time to get my Dazzler the movie signed. This is one of the worst Dazzler things I've ever read, and that's saying
now,
something.
why wouldn't you get Secret Wars signed by him? But you're going to get that.
Hell yes, I will. Without a doubt.
Oh boy.
I mean, Dope's getting bombed. Like, I don't want these guys to see like, oh, here's the book everybody knows me for. I'm bringing your porn career. This is what I want you to sign.
Now that's true. Now, when I went and saw Frank Miller a couple of years ago, everybody had the same 2 books.
Right.
Same Daredevil, same Batman book. Me, I show up with John Carter from Mars. I'm like, sign this for me. So I got a little bit of a reaction from him.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like we were talking about Mike Grell. I imagine a lot of people are going to be bringing Green Arrow and things like that. I don't know that there's a lot of there's not a lot of Warlord guys like us. Okay, Jim Shooter is 74, so good for him.
Oh, okay, not as old as I thought.
No. but still, I mean, I love that he's getting out there. Someone whose name I didn't see on there, and I don't know if he's attended or not. He goes to a lot around here in the Midwest, Eric. You've probably seen him as Pat Broderick,
Yeah,
another like, very kind of
he did so
prolific.
much in the 80s.
Oh,
Oh
just
my
a
gosh.
workhorse, man. He drew
Yeah.
everything. And it just kills me how many monthlies he was on. It seems like at the same time, but I
Yeah.
didn't see him on the list. Oh, holy crap. I just saw a name I didn't realize. Don Rosa is gonna be there. Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, one of the best things I've ever read. Cannot recommend it enough.
You're going to be in
Uh,
all the lines all day. You're going to pick you 2 or 3 of them
Yeah,
now.
that's why I haven't really been looking at the names too much. I
Yeah.
may pick out a couple because I don't want to spend the whole time standing in line to get some books signed and miss the whole show. I've
And
done that
right.
before.
What do you think
know?
the average prices are for these autographs too?
Yeah, and
Very
it
true.
depends. This being this show, I don't know. Maybe people that have gone to this can chime in at like C2E2. It really depends on, I think, the particular artist writer. I've seen anywhere from free. Some of the old timers, they don't charge anything. They're just happy that you know who they are.
Wow.
To the newer ones that are spent, maybe 10, 15 bucks. So,
Well, I can
I
see
don't
like
know.
Jim Shooter and people charging a lot, but like Mike Rosa, I don't know what he would charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, well, Steve brings up a good point. Like my backpack's going to be full of things I want to get signed. I'll be in line. That's
Backpacks.
kind of.
I'm gonna be that nerd with the little cart with the short box.
You're gonna be. I'm taking care of my lumbar region.
Can
by
you
dragging this.
sign my book, please, Mr. Shooter?
See, and that's something all three of us are talking about, mainly writers. But some people want sketches and stuff. They want
Right.
they want artwork done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that's cool, but I just can't spend that money on that because I'd
Mhm.
rather spend it on a book that I'm collecting. I mean, it's really cool that you can come home, put it on a wall, or like if you have it in a sketchbook, you can flip through it. But some of them, it's price wise.
Yeah.
I can't personally, I can't do that because I'm cheap. I'll admit it. But I'd rather put that money somewhere else.
And that's why I wanted to talk about this like today, a few months out, because I'm trying to get my wheels spinning and think like what I do want my battle plan to be, because you can't in 3 days you can't do it all, and you can't afford it all. Like,
Yeah.
depending on what these guys charge. And so like when I look at this list of creators, I also think about like, not to be morbid, but the older the guys are, the less chances I'm going to have to see them,
Exactly.
Jenny Frizen is freaking phenomenal, and I have some really good covers by her that I like a lot, but she's young. Jim Shooter, I don't know. I don't see him going to con. I've never seen him on a guest
and
list before.
Like I know somebody mentioned Marv Wolfman. I know he loves going to these cons, but he's at that age where it's really hard for him to travel. So unless you're by him where he lives, you're probably not going to see him at a lot of cons.
And another strategy is you might be able to do 2 short lines to 1 long line.
Yeah.
Friends, and if you're waiting for a Jenny, you might be waiting for hours, or you might be able to hit up a bunch of these Liller lines and get in and out.
And that's why it's like I love Jenny Frizen art, but I'm not gonna spend half my day in line to get a signature, to get something.
Yeah.
I would rather go hit a couple of the smaller guys, just because I also think you would have a better like interactivity with them. It's like, when you go wait in line for a big time guest at a Comic-Con, you're going pretty quick because the line's long.
Yeah.
If there's not many people there, maybe you get to chat them up a little bit longer. Maybe you get a better,
VIP pass, baby.
VIP. See my lanyard? I paid for this. I'm gonna wear the shirt. Anyone want pocket bacon?
You didn't have time to go back to your room. Your pockets are greasy. Big orange and banana sticking out. Girls are getting the wrong idea why you got a banana in your front pocket.
Oh no.
It's a plantain. Evening, Callie. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I like it, Christina. If you're going or not, and you're looking at this guest list, like who's on this list that would be like non-negotiable for you? Like I would want to meet this creator, whether it's a writer or whatever. I want to take a book for them to sign. I want to get the, I want to buy a quick sketch or a remark or something. It's just I know that they're going to add more. I hope that they're going to add more, but it already is just forever long. Like, and as you comb
Yeah,
through it, you're just like, holy cow, I know this guy, I know that guy.
At the beginning of June is probably when I'm going to seriously look at this and start my battle plan. Start a list of artists and writers that I might want to go get signed, and then see what books I have. If I don't have anything good, I may cross a mark, because I'm not going to go last minute find a book just so I can go meet this artist type of thing. That's kind of iffy, if I don't already have a big book for a bigger guy, well, then I have to decide, like you said, Dope, maybe go get 2 smaller, known artist writers, save a little bit of money that way too.
And a lot of the Comic-Con people, they know the artist coming and they bring stacks of their work.
That is true.
They know that you'll be there to buy whatever.
So you kind of got to factor that in too. If you don't have it, you might see one. I've gone to C2E2 and raced for like 15 minutes before I went and jumped in the line for a Avengers Annual 10 to get Chris Claremont to sign it, for first, it was first Rogue is what I wanted it for.
Fiddle Chips brings up a good point too. Like, I remember going to Chicago Comic-Con, or Wizard World as it was for years. And I was telling Dope over the weekend, I have the first 2 trades of The Walking Dead signed by Robert Kirkman, because I bought them at his booth. He didn't charge me to sign them. It was like, bought those 2 trades, and he just signed it, because he was there to promote his stuff. I mean, he is a champion of his own work, obviously, and he wasn't like huge at the time, but it was still like, it wasn't expected that you were going to pay for a signature. You were paying for something at the table. He's going to sign it, because that's part of it.
Yeah, I met Rob Liefeld in around 2000 or the 90s. Whenever he's doing the 50, you remember the 501 commercial?
Hell yes, I do. I had the button fly.
At the mall, and if you bought anything out of that store, he signed it for free. So that's how the store made money.
Would he sign your jeans? Because that's awesome.
Yeah, how does that work? Can you say, Rob, can you sign my jeans right here?
Right.
That's not Levi's. I can't. That's Wranglers. I can't sign those.
It's all I can afford.
Yeah. But if you bought something from the store, he signed it for free. So, that's the way the comic shop made money. So,
yeah, I liked when they did that. I don't know if they do that so much anymore, but yeah.
Well, here's another question. The thing I'm most looking forward to is just hanging out with y'all two and Hagen and the lobby. That's more, I don't know, I'm more excited about that than I am going to the Comic-Con. I'm actually excited to I'm going to bring a commander deck, and me and Nate are going to play some Magic. That's when I'm going to bed. Let me know when you start that up. It's bedtime.
Oh, you'll know.
Don't think this is too nerd for me. I'm out.
You'll see some magic. Watch me disappear. Now, I'm excited about meeting you, Eric. You're the one that I haven't got to meet yet. So we're going to have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, just hanging out, I think, and getting to know people face to face is different than on here, which thank God for this stuff, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
What's
but in person, it's just a totally different thing.
Well, it's cool, too, that Comic-Con, I mean, what time's the door open? Like 11 or 12? So you can't stay up. Us old people can't stay up late and sleep in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm used to getting up like most, I know you get up early too, Nate, but we get up like 4 or 5 in the morning. So if I slept into, 9 or 10, that's something.
I say sleep in. I'm even now on spring break, I'm up at 7:30 at the latest. Like my clock is just all jacked up, which, but the other thing I can do because I'm old and I am a prolific napper is I can take a nap, so I could see like maybe getting done with a walk around the con for a bit and go take myself a half-hour nap so that I can stay up and party. Cause otherwise it may be harder to accomplish. Christina's
cool.
Gonna be there. Yep.
Cool. We Nate, you need to make a list of people that are going to be there.
I do. I'm not doing a good job of that right now.
Yes, Kate Noonan.
And yes, we are talking. Here's my opinion on the Final Fantasy set is that it's a really cool idea, and they're overcharging for it like they always do. I ain't paying those prices. They can kiss my ass. It's something like $100 for a commander deck, or maybe it was more. It's stupid. Absolutely not. And what sucks about Magic is, unlike a lot of things, like even if it doesn't sell, the older it gets, the more expensive it is. Even if it wasn't popular. So and then Ryan wants to know, I'm at the Westin.
Yeah,
we're all at the
Westin.
Yeah.
And I know Hagen is staying
chicken
with
fingers and
friends.
beer in the lobby.
That's
Yeah.
right. I think on Saturday night, Hagen's going to be staying with me though. Once my family is off on their little journey, so that we can at least have like a late night then, just hanging out and partying. But let's see. Yeah, what con are you guys talking about where you met? There's not you guys, but in the chat they're talking about meeting Joe Rubenstein, or as Callie called him, Dickenstein.
Yeah.
I that's the first I've heard of him not being a pleasant person, but that's it. They are people. Like, that's the thing, is like
They have bad days, and especially the older they are, they get a little crotchety. So
I can empathize a little bit. But
here's another subject. Well, I forgot what it was.
Okay.
That's some old right
You
there.
said Krotchenstein, and I said, "What the hell?" My mind went blank. I've never heard Krotchenstein.
That's
Oh yeah, I remember now. Are y'all thinking of any ideas? I've got like 4 topics already for videos. Are y'all going to record much while you're there?
I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna try.
You got some ideas for what you're going to record?
I mean, I
you
know
don't
I'm
have
gonna be
to tell
taking
me.
pictures, but ideas wise, other than
I've got
our
4 good
weird-
ideas, I think.
Okay.
And I think every day I'm going to do
Are
like
they-
a
are they
vlog,
pot
like day
bangers?
1, a vlog, a day 2, vlog, a day 3.
Yeah,
vlog's a good way to do it, I think.
I think so too. I mean, I want to get some like POV stuff of like, hunting. One thing, if we haven't said it or made it clear, like the 4 of us, Hagen, Eric, Dope, and I, are having a challenge of who can find the weirdest, most nonsense book at the con. So in addition to us hunting for, little mini grails or just what it is that we're hunting for, we also want to find something absolutely ridiculous, because that's kind of the basis of our friendship is showing just the most insane things and making each other want them. So
I mean, I think basically I'm probably going to try and do like a daily summary type of thing, similar to a blog type thing. Other than that, I might do my, 10 for $10 dives at a con type of thing.
I don't know this story. Do you
I remember seeing the video of that. It's hilarious. Oh, poor Dan.
Dan is a character.
Yeah.
Like our weird video, are we going to all go to our room one night and have a live thing like this where we show
I
it?
think that would be fun, because
Or we all going to get together in the lobby and just sit beside each other? Or
I think we should. I think
or we're going to wait till we get home and do it from home. I don't know.
I think it'd be fun to do it live.
I do too. I wonder if we should. Well, no, because you're leaving Sunday. So so I guess we should make it like a Saturday night.
Saturday night's usually kind of generally a last night of the con anyway. So
yeah. So like that night in the lobby, that's when you bring your weird books for the Heroes Con weird off.
Yeah. And then I think another fun thing would be, I think I wrote this down, where you find the most, not comic related, but just unexpected find. It could be anything. That could be a T-shirt, a toy, or some kind of memorabilia, something that you wouldn't expect to see at a con that you don't see back at home, at the little cons or at the stores. Maybe you find a life-size statue of, I don't know, something weird.
Right.
So you never know.
I'm going to do one of Dope hanging with sexy cosplayers.
There you go.
Have you seen the
My
guy
wife will love it.
Yeah, she will. There's a guy that walks around the con, and no matter who it is, like he goes up to him, he was dressed as Deadpool. He's like, "Look, it's Spider-Man from Fortnite. Hey, you're dressed like Batman from Fortnite. Like no matter who it was, and some people laughed, and some people got really shitty about it. And Rich from Big Nasty, dude, you're more than welcome to participate in the Weird Off. I just don't
Heck
want to
yeah.
compete against you because that guy is a weird
Yeah,
stuff
he has a knack for
magnet.
finding weird.
He can find the best. Chris Parker, the late night dope show with the cosplayer with the cosplay. It's like the Fly Girls from Mad TV.
Oh, I'm going to do a bathroom review. What about that? Nobody ever tells
know
you how
what?
nice the bathrooms are.
At a convention, that is a very important thing because I've seen some bathrooms at cons, especially Gen Con. You've been there, you know this, Nate. They get destroyed, and it's just like, what?
A big
Ryan
Thor
Monster
doo-doo.
came in here, and yeah,
Thor doo-dooed it up.
He brought the thunder. Ryan, I will be there Thursday through Monday. I think there's a decent amount of people getting there on Thursday, and then people leaving on Sunday and Monday for the most part. But
Everybody I know is getting there on Thursday.
I am really like that's I guess I'm looking forward to walking around the con, but I'm really looking forward to them saying, okay, the floor is closed for today, because then, you know, then I'm free to go and do this, like sit with you guys, and just talk, you know?
yeah. I mean, I've always been a fan of cosplayers too. I'm fascinated with the level of detail some of them put in costumes. And I've been known to see cool characters and take pictures with them. So I may do stuff like that. Not to the level of trampolines that Dope wants to do, but
Titty vision.
I do. So, okay. So Indiana Comic-Con, there was a girl in a Squirrel Girl costume, and it was excellent. And her boyfriend, I'm assuming, who was with her, was dressed up as Mr. Knight, Moon Knight, and his costume was also excellent. And I really regret not getting, like, they were getting pictures with people and they were really busy. And I wish I would have got some footage or, like, you know, said, hey, got a picture with them. Cause we've always done that in the past when we walk around the con, you know, especially having my son who's like 10 years old, like he loves to, you know, see people in costume. He's gone dressed up before as well. So like just getting pictures of people in cosplay, really good cosplays, I think, are the effort that people put into those. Like it's like us making a YouTube. We're not doing a YouTube video because we don't want people to watch. They're not dressed up because they don't want people to say, hey, and take a picture.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, don't you worry, JSS. I'll be I'll be strapped. I'll be good to go. The lobby will be fine. I may have to go back up to the room a few times.
Thank you, Richard.
And drunk purchases are great.
Well, that's where we find the weird stuff.
That might be where we find the weird stuff, but I don't plan to hit the floor toasty. I'll be saving that for after. Eric's hitting his golf bag or his little rolly cart.
Yeah.
See, I know that right aside the convention center is also the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And I'm worried about in I'm worried about in the lobby of our hotel, you know, like a Dale Earnhardt fan and Spider-Man getting into a giant fight. You know, whose bar is this? The NASCAR or the comic nerds? You know what I mean?
That's true. Now,
what's Al Hagen be on? Because he loves.
I know.
NASCAR
I'm going to be right there with Hagen on the, in the middle. I'm like,
he be trying to separate it.
He could be the bridge that unites us.
Thor's got Jeff Gordon in the headlock.
Well, that I'm okay with.
I don't think the NASCAR people would like us too much. Who's all these dorks playing Magic?
Lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Mike Allred is like the guest of honor. And I love his art. I don't know if I want to wait in line because I imagine it's going to be pretty long. I've got the Batman Dark Victory and the Superman, can't remember, Space Age that he did the art for. I know you didn't like him on Ecstatics, Eric, but
I think it's those characters I don't like. I like his art style. I just don't like those characters. Because I do like other stuff that he's done that's more original, I guess, is what it is. The stuff that he did, with Dark Horse Comics, I like 100% more because it's, it's more original to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel the same way about like with Roy Thomas. It's a tough one with him because he is older, but he's kind of limited appearance. So his lines are going to be ridiculously long. I don't know if it's worth me standing in line, like you said, for a couple hours to get a 5-second signature. So,
Right.
It's got to be a cool Conan book. You get Roy Thomas.
Well,
Yeah.
No, you got some
And
others, don't you?
it would probably be.
And Adam's right. I did get the VIP, so hopefully I get a Mike Allred poster of the for the con as part of my part of my swag.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it to me. I really want to. I think I'd rather meet. I said John Romita Jr. just because he means something more to me.
Yeah.
I started reading X-Men books when he was on them, so it just made such an impression on me as a teenager that I want to meet him face to face to complete that circle type of thing of comic book collecting. He's one of those comic heroes that I would love to just check off type of thing. So,
he's huge. Like when I look at that list, he's just one of the big boys there for sure. I don't have the same, like I really like his art on certain things that I've read over the years, but I don't have that same connection that you do. So it's not one for me.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like with this list of people, I mean, there's a real good chance your guy or girl is on there because there's
that list was incredible.
It
to
is.
tell you the truth. I didn't know when I hear about, this is a collector's con. It's a smaller con. I was like, is there going to be like guests there? Because that's one of the things sometimes C2E2, I'll say it, sometimes disappoints me is they'll have maybe 2-3 big names. And then the rest, I'm like, I don't know who they are really because they're, almost too modern that I don't know their work, because they've only done maybe 1 or 2 books type of thing. They've only been in the business maybe 10 years, so did they do anything big? Some of them maybe a big splash, but so it's a tough call sometimes. And then when you see these big lists, it's like it can be overwhelming. I'm a little overwhelmed, I'll admit it. So it's almost like I'd rather just say no.
I am too. That's why I wanted to start this discussion tonight is because like I look at this and I am overwhelmed.
And here's another thing. People that I've talked to that's went to this Comic-Con before, they say that most of the creators stay at the Westin. And you'll see them at breakfast and you'll see them on the elevators. So you're liable to run into anybody if you know what they look like.
Yeah.
Dope's going to accidentally back into the stop elevator. Next restraining order.
Look, now that we're stuck on here, sign this thing.
Sign right here so I can go get it tattooed.
Yeah.
So Callie says writers. I would love to meet Jason Aaron. He's doing awesome on Turtles right now. It's just one of my favorite reads. Christopher Cantwell is another writer who's doing a lot of books I like. He did the Plastic Man No More. He's done some Star Trek stuff.
He did this. That's amazing. I just read
this. Was that
amazing.
good?
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Okay.
But I would like to meet Tom King.
Oh God, Tom King would probably be #1 writer for me. Like 3 of my favorite
one for me.
last year.
What would you get signed?
I'm not. Go ahead, Nate. I'm sorry.
Well, I would want if I knew Tom King was going to be there, I would want to track down a Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow #1 and get that signed. I mean, I've got the deluxe hardcover. I don't have any of the floppies. I'd take a signature on that too.
Take a Danger Street #4.
Danger Street, yeah, Danger Street or Mr. Miracle. Any of those. I do have a Mr. Miracle #1.
You probably got the Batman too, don't you?
No, I only ever read that in trade. I that was like during the period where I have always bought books, but I mainly buy like older stuff. And when it came to modern stuff, I was just reading, trades that I got from the library. But since I started the YouTube channel, Dope, you and I've talked about this a lot. Like you get the FOMO for wanting to be able to have a conversation. The water coolers, this stuff came out. and I want to talk about it with people. So I don't want to wait 6 months for a trade for certain things. And oh my God, Phil is so right. Vision was such a good miniseries that Tom King did as well. I don't know. He just, when he is on, he is on.
Eric, who you got?
So writers is a tough one for me. I don't keep up with the writers, like modern writers, as much as the artist, because art's always the big thing for me in comics. But I would say Benjamin Percy is a top one for me. I loved everything. I mean, he's the embodiment of Wolverine to me, so he'd be a big one. I mean, just Wolverine, Ghost Rider, you know, some of the stuff he's done. Yeah. Other than that, they're older ones for me, like Claremont and, you know.
I was going to say, you need to be over with Claremont. You need to be like picking up his gum wrappers he throws down. Just any kind of, he's a legend, you know?
Yeah.
Stealing his cigarette butts, whatever he's got laying around. Getting it framed at Hobby Lobby.
Tom Taylor and Daniel Warren Johnson is going to be there. And I mean, I freaking love Transformers.
That would be a neat one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Moon is following us as a series he's doing that. He's kind of sharing art duties, but I think he's the head writer on it.
Is Larry Hama there?
I think so.
Is he? Hold on.
I think I saw a look, because that would be one on my list. The stuff he did with G.I. Joe, holy cow. I mean, he's still writing it. So
yeah, I don't see him on there yet.
Maybe I saw something else.
But I actually do have a couple of G.I. Joes from that are meaningful to me. So yeah, okay. Daniel Warren Johnson, Garth Ennis. Yeah, Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis has something coming out tomorrow. It's a one-shot called Kids.
It's in my box right now.
I was gonna say, dope. There's Kids, and then there's it's the guy who did Beneath the Trees, Patrick Horvath.
Oh yeah.
And Chris Parker sent me a message about it today. It's called Free for All. It's a one-shot out tomorrow. That one's on my list. I'm picking that up tomorrow for sure.
Free for All?
Free for All. Yeah. Write it
down.
Write it down.
So writers are kind of a tough one for me.
Sure.
What attracts me to books more often than not is the artwork, and then the writing for me is secondary.
Now I'm looking at the creator list, but like this is old Frank Lloyd Wrong here wants to know if anyone cool like Corey Feldman's gonna be there. They don't have like a celebrity.
I don't think they do. Not like like C2E2 is more like all nerd culture, and even like the old Wizard World. You know, that was all the old stuff like that. And I think Terrificon was even like that.
I laugh at Corey Feldman, but he's in all of my favorite movies. I mean, he was in The Burbs.
Oh yeah.
He's in Friday the 13th 3 and 4. He was in Bordello's Blood, which is Tales from the Crypt.
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys. I mean, he's in everything.
Drives me crazy.
The Burbs.
I don't know about
that one. No, it's License to Drive.
License to Drive. Yeah.
Sorry, where Heather Graham spends the entire movie in the trunk of the car.
Got to start somewhere.
Yes, Corey Feldman is still alive. It is.
I just saw some videos. He's like he's reprising his role as Michael Jackson again. I think
he's amazing.
Yeah, his music is really happening. He was not this year, but the year before. He was at the Indianapolis Comic-Con. And I thought about waiting in line, dope, because Goonies. Like, I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Another great movie.
I would take my Goonies, Blu-ray to have him sign that.
He's one of the very few people I think that could go and just make a living off Comic-Cons. He's been in so many movies, but like him, think about like Harrison Ford. He's Indiana Jones and Han Solo. He could do that the rest of his life. Or what's the new dude that's Punisher?
Oh, John Barenthal.
Yeah, because he's also Shane off of Walking Dead. You could just do that the rest of your life if you're certain people. You just make a good couple of movies and then you're set.
Yeah. I mean, there are people for years, Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno was not still acting, but he was on the convention circuit.
I have my autograph Hulk picture in the basement.
Yeah, I got one too. I don't know if
the same one I got. No, I got one where he's like this. That's the Hulk.
Every time I go to a local Comic-Con around here, Bam Majura is there. So he's making a living
Wow.
doing that. I mean, well, I ain't seen the dude in forever, but he's selling skateboard decks and signing them at like 150 a piece, and he's selling out.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I am somebody who, like, I don't want somebody to take advantage of fans, but I appreciate the hustle. Like, people have to make money, and if you're
Yeah.
willing to live on a convention circuit, and sign some autographs and interact positively with people, I say more power to you. Get your $20 or $30, whatever it is.
You
I think
always
it's
see
great.
a couple of old washed up wrestlers. It's always there.
Dude, one of my favorite interactions was with Roddy Piper at Comic-Con. I mean, he was so genuine and nice. And my son was with me. He was like 10 at that time. He got down on his broken knees so he could talk to my son face to face. It was the best experience I've ever had with a celebrity.
Did you talk about They Live? Because that's what I would have had to have talked to him about.
I think so. Yeah, I talked some more wrestling with him. Like, he did a match with I think it was Greg Valentine, where it was a chain match and they were hitting each other in the heads with it. He said he lost hearing in his ear because of that match. And I was just like, damn, they didn't hold back in the day.
Yeah, I've always heard he was a genuinely nice person, which I think is super cool. R.I.P. So yes, They Live is the best. I actually have an art print by a local
Not Hell
artist.
Comes to Frogtown?
I like Hell Comes to Frog. I love crap. Are you kidding me? Speaking of, we're probably gonna go here soon, but on my excursion to Dopes, my weekend at Dopes last weekend.
I got some books to show, huh?
I have a few books I could show. I don't want to go crazy, but let me show you what I got that I am more excited than anything else, and that is this.
Oh my God, what is that?
The DVD.
This is Zardoz.
Why is it so big? Maybe it's because you're holding it. Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't know what Zardoz is, let me bring up.
People got to see this jumpsuit.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me share my screen.
I love the 70s sci-fi.
All right. So let's see here. First, so this was yes, I am that tiny, and yes, they are that large. Dope and Hagen dwarf me because I'm not a tall dude. But this was this our last night? I feel like this was our last night. So we spent had a great time hanging out. Did the did the Spider-Man meme pose, and then so this is, there you go, Eric. There's Zardoz. So this is a sci-fi movie that's out of print. I cannot wait to watch
and
this.
It's so much body hair.
It's just
Richard Petty.
Do you want me to shave for this? God no.
I love the tall boots too.
It's the thigh high is really complete. The bandolier, it's an incredible ensemble. But yeah, I'm just gonna real quick. So Hagen was kind enough to give me this Cap Wolf because I love body transformation. Dope gave me an insane amount of books. Like I said, I mean, this is just the pile of books that he gave me.
And bourbon.
So I'm gonna and some bourbon. Right, there was a lot of bourbon. I thought this was really cool. It reminds me of like Animorphs. So
that looks like the guy from Herculoids, kind of.
Right? Yeah, I know.
Oh
so I thought this was really cool. This one here is
on the list.
Black Magic.
Oh, that's volume 1.
And yeah, this is a 10 center, and I don't know anything about this prize group.
Before DC had it.
A very cool Jerry Lewis and Monsters.
Oh wow. Dang.
Speaking of first issue special, Dr. Fate in the first issue special. Oh, you don't, huh? I believe I may have one in the PC that I can throw in your pile then. One of the best covers. I'm just so sad that you didn't like it, Dope. Sonia Devereaux, Combat Nurse, Hospital Under Siege.
I expected so much out of that book.
What?
It's got everything you'd ever want.
Yes.
Murder stalks floor 7.
The only thing it's missing is the 80s hair metal band music, you know?
This is one Dope showed, and I can't believe he was willing to give it up. It is Monster Men, the Skull and the Snowman.
Wow. You
What
gave
a
that up.
cover!
That
Well,
cover
I've
is
got another
huge.
one. I found a second one for him. I didn't give up mine.
It's awesome. This one, I think Dope had enough copies for all of us, so we're gonna book club Scorpio Rose.
Oh
from
yeah, that's
Eclipse.
right. I remember you mentioning that.
This is the new Badger, the one that
Okay.
just came out not too long ago, but it's still Mike Barron doing
Yeah.
the writing.
I don't think
the
my
original.
store got that, or if they did, they sold out so fast.
Yeah, my store had a couple, but I saw the $6.99 tag and said no thanks. I'll just do 3 more, and then I'll let you guys show some stuff, and then we'll get going. But is this the first appearance, Dope, of Bill Clinton in comics?
I think that's the first
I think
appearance.
it is. I have
First
that
cover
too,
appearance,
yeah.
I know.
I had that.
Okay, first cover appearance of Bill Clinton in comics, and the
Oh,
second
yeah.
cover appearance of Bill Clinton in comics.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 that were gifts from him, and they're just freaking amazing. So a Gold Key Star Trek with a
Oh, a
Cyclops ogre.
Dang.
Look at that. It's
That's
so
somebody's
cool.
head, or is that a blackened tooth? Looks
It's a
like
blackened tooth,
I didn't know if it was Spock's head.
but they're all down there. And then the last thing, it's not a comic, but it's a magazine. But this cover of Spock fighting a giant centipede, and the inside just has the inside. Wasn't there a Zardoz picture in here?
Yeah, I
Isn't
think
that
there
what
was.
started the whole?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what started the whole thing.
I
It was
started
really
leafing.
neat.
I start leafing through this, and there's like a Zardoz article, and they're like, "What the hell is Zardoz?" I'm like, "You guys are in for a treat."
Hey, that was the power of Sean Connery.
Yeah, it looks like this.
Who could deny that?
Either you guys have anything you want to show tonight?
I will show 4 comics. And Eric, I know you've been showing all your Aquaman action
Yeah.
figures. Here's the one I found this week. It's badass. You see this?
Yeah.
Badass. But then we got Hagen. Hagen gave me this. So I thought this was really cool looking.
That's
It
neat.
is
Black and
cool.
white.
Yeah. And I love the Hulk on here. So, and this is Hulk 181, he told me. So I'm going to read it. And here is 2 of my favorite books that Nate gave me. Baby Badass. So
you got to read the tagline though. It's Baby Badass, and it's he didn't ask to be.
yeah, he didn't ask to be born, it says right there.
He's got a knife in someone's heart.
So I will be reading Baby Badass 1 and 2 before
I think
long.
that I think that comic company I got Subspecies comics from, and I can't find the rest of the series.
And the last book I'll show was one that I think Nate found this, or it might have been Hagen. Somebody found it and gave it to me. It is Al Capone Vampire.
Oh, cool. Oh, I like that comic company. That's that American mythology or whatever. Yeah, they get some weird ideas.
We the shop he took us to, I think it's called Rick's.
Yeah.
And as we're walking in, the door it says on the door, Hagen's like, "Did that say that their dollar books are 50 cents?" I was like, "Well, God, I hope not," you know.
Oh, crap.
And so we walk in, and they were, and not only were dollar books 50 cents, they were like, as we were digging, they were putting more in.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
It was, and so like we're all in different boxes, and because we all know what each other likes. Like you find a Captain America, you're like, "Hey, Hagen, is this one you're looking for? Do you have this?" Dope found me some great Silver DC.
Wow.
I think I found that American Vampire, and some other, like we all found stuff. And I remember Dope too, because when I got up to the counter, I had this huge stack of books. And when they totaled it all up, they're like $32. He's like, "Damn, that's a lot of books for $32."
Half a short box.
Holy crap.
It was
That'd be like Score.
Hey,
it really was.
Eric's going crazy over the 50 cent bin. Tell him how much they were when we went to McKay's.
Oh my God, at McKay's. So Hagen's like, they had some Cerebus, and he's like, "Do you want these Cerebus?"
Ooh,
I was like, I've got them in trade. You know what I mean? I don't collect
okay.
that in floppies. I'm like, I got the trades. I read the phone books. And he said they're 10 cents.
Bag and boarded.
What?
Oh my gosh.
They're 10 cents, man.
There's lots of 10-cent books, 35-cent books, 25-cent books.
Dude, I
It
would have
was
easily walked
crazy.
out with a long box. Easily.
That's
Easily.
why I'm saying, like, if you went to just at McKay's, like when they opened in the morning, you could stay all day going through their, because it's not, they've got bins at the top, and then underneath they've got 50-cent books that go all the way down to 10 cents.
Wow.
And it's all mixed up. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You find the craziest crap.
Everybody's
Loved
just sitting on the floor.
Love
it was great. It was great. It was amazing digging, but like it was an amazingly fun time because of who I was digging with.
Then we had a bunch of Southern barbecues. So
Which, hey, for the record, you were like, the stuff I brought back home. So from Nashville to Indianapolis, I brought it back with me. It's the first thing I did when I got home was heat up my ribs and eat them. My leftovers.
All right, I'm going to start with something that I got tonight. So tonight, my store had kind of a early pre-release of the new Batman Hush 2. Now, they did have a cool freebie thing, a little ash can thing that I thought was neat, but I didn't get the A cover. No, I got the big A cover that this thing just, I can't wait to sit on the floor, kick up my feet, on my belly, and just start reading this.
Put your curlers in and
get it graded.
Yeah. I gotta find something to put this thing in. It's so massive and big, but it's kind of cool. It's the same A cover, or A issue, but just large format like that is kind of cool and different. So I splurged a little bit.
How much was it?
I mean, I told myself I wasn't going to get it, and then I said I'm getting it tomorrow. If my store has one tomorrow, I'm getting it.
How much
I
is
had FOMO, I'll admit it. I have friends at the store that are huge Batman fans, and they kept talking about. I'm like, you know what? I'll at least get the A cover, the first one. Check it out. It's Jim Lee. I love his artwork. So
if it's anything, $15, Dope. It's not. I mean, for what it is, it's not bad.
All right, so fun stuff now. I went to a not half price books. We have a 53rd and Charles or something like that.
Second and Charles.
And I went on a day that they just restocked all their comics, so they are jam packed. Found this cool thing, and I don't know anything about this character. I'm familiar with the character, but I got this because it's one of my favorite 80s. It's paying homage to my favorite 80s artist, Patrick Nagel. If you guys know Duran Duran Rio, he did the cover for that. I have a lot of his prints. So, I thought this was kind of cool to have.
That's Albino Samurai.
Okay. And then here's a series that I remember started watching the TV show, but I never read the comic. So I found a little bit of a run. Yeah, I mean, it's Vertigo. I figured I'll be the dick and just get number one and leave all the rest in there.
Nice.
So got that to check out. I've always loved these, the bombshell.
Those covers are so good.
Yeah, the 40s style. I've always liked the Calendar Girl style, and when they did this, I thought it was really cool. The Wonder Woman and Supergirl and Batgirl. I like that Batgirl has a bat. Very original. So and I'm surprised this series went like 30 some issues. I was like, really?
Yeah. I never read any of it, but I do love the covers when I
got so I'll check it. I think it was $2, so not bad. All right, now I got some big boy books. These two books I'm going to show you have been on my list for a long time, and I've been very picky finding nice copies of it. So here's the first one. You'll like these, Nate.
Yes.
Superman 127, first appearance of
Patano.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really nice copy. So I found this on a site on eBay. Gary Berghoff, I believe he's from the East Coast.
Yeah.
I learned of him through Mike at Lunch Money Comics. He was having 50% off sale on a lot of stuff. So 50% off of a 70 some dollar book. I ain't gonna get any cheaper than that.
Right.
And then the next one, this was the one that really was big on my list because I love this cover. I love apes in general. So I got the second appearance too. I love this cover, him climbing, very King Kong, right? And this one I've come across a couple times. I've seen him really beat. Now this one does have like tape on the spine, but it presents really, really good. And I paid $15 for this.
I mean, for 10-cent Supermans, those look amazing.
I mean, you can see the tape on the back better there, but it presents so good.
Yeah, it's a good looking book, man.
So
congrats. Good pickups.
And then the last one I got here, I got this from Bigby McFly. It's a goal comic for me. Aquaman, number 29, first appearance of Ocean Master. So I got the two books I did not think I was going to get right away off of my list. This one in Black Manta.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very, I mean, it's got this little chip up there, but the rest of it's good. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not being too much of a stickler on this old series because they're hard to find.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one's done. Now I just got to find the rest that are on my list. But yeah, and I'm still working on Dracula and stuff like that. And I yesterday when I went to that store, I finished off 2 volumes of modern Aquaman because they had everything. So I had to get it. And then I got a big chunk of Supergirl. And I couldn't pass up a Alex Ross one.
Oh, I have that one. That's a good one.
So and they were all like $2-3. So I may end up going back next week because there's still a lot there. I only went through half of their stock, and I was just like, I got to get out of here. I got to stop.
Yeah.
Stack, you know.
Yeah, that was me in Nashville. I got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Tapping out.
So yeah, I picked up a ton of Alex Ross. I didn't get 30, but I bought 30 books for $20 at a vendor at a show, and the majority of them were Justice League, JSA, Superman, Supergirl, that were Alex Ross covers. So I do want to wrap up because I know a lot of people want to go watch Daredevil. I'm one of them, actually.
I still have to start. I'm so lame. I haven't even started.
I'm really enjoying it, but I just want to say, like like we've talked about, I'm really looking forward to Heroes, not so much for the comics, but for for the hangouts, for the fun, for meeting people. So anybody who's in the chat or anybody who's watching this on the replay, if you're going to be there, I mean, we definitely need to find times that we can meet up in the lobby after the show or on the floor, whatever. I just want to see everybody. I want to have a good time. And I'm just so looking forward to it. Yeah. But yeah, I've got some food for thought here. Like, creators, weighing which creators do I want to go see, if I want to go see any, to get anything signed. What kind of books do I want to get? Do I want to target some, a couple of big books and then just like see where the rest of the con takes me? Or do I want to, see what tickles my fancy while I'm there and try not to get arrested for having my fancy tickled in public?
And a lot of people spend like one whole day, like Saturday, just getting all their autographs and then the rest of the time. So,
yeah, I'm not a big autograph guy, but I mean, there are a couple of people who are going to be there that I'm like, it would be really cool to have something signed by them.
Yeah. And so, I'm the type of person that I don't care about getting an authentic, and stuff. I get stuff signed for me, not to go slab and, invest in it or anything. It needs to be something personal to me. So.
Yes, I agree. Well, before we go, I'm going to announce 2 things. On Friday morning at 6 a.m., I will be doing a live hangout with Martin, the Aussie comic book collector. And it's at 6 a.m. because that's how you make times line up between this and the opposite side of the earth. Yeah. He's in Australia, I'm in Indiana, but that we're going to do that. And then on Sunday on Hagen's channel, we will have Adam from Up and Adam Comics and Big Nasty from Big Nasty Comics as guests on the Sunday Comic Book Hangover show. Either you guys got anything coming up you want to plug?
Friday morning at 6 a.m. I will be working. And Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, I will be watching your show.
Awesome. And Eric, Eric just did a pretty cool unboxing. I caught some of that, so if you didn't see that, you should watch that. Yeah, that was a
massive unboxing. The post office decided to just give me everything all at once, and And then I did an unboxing on Friday, which was something different, new toys, action figures. So, but this week I have Thursday, I think it's this Thursday, Gary B, the 1011.
Oh, cool.
I'm almost whittled down to the 12 books. I think I got to ditch 3. So I'm doing pretty good.
When you get down to about 15, it gets hard.
Yeah.
I got an interesting theme to help me do that. So it's actually the pile sitting behind me here that I have to whittle down. Ooh. So it's a little bit of it.
That's cool.
So that's Thursday. And then Sunday is my super show-off show. I have
cool.
Chonko coming on, Big Nasty's coming on, and Up and Adam are coming on.
Oh, man. Those 2 guys are going to be busy all day.
Yeah, they're going to be busy. I'm kind of excited. They have all of the guys are fairly new, and just started their channel. So it should be a lot of fun and good conversations. I've been in a couple streams already with a few of them. So, it should be a lot of fun.
They're good guys. They're all good guys. And they've all been doing like.
And really Chonko is actually like an hour south of me. He's in the south suburbs. So I'll probably see him at C2E2 coming up.
Cool. Well, anybody who is here hanging out and in the chat, thank you so much for being here. Hope to see you. If you're going to Heroes, we want to see you. So make sure you reach out on Instagram. And if you're watching the replay, same thing. So Eric, Dope, thanks as always. And everybody have a good night. And we'll see you on one of the many things that we're doing next later this week.